Hi guys, and welcome to today's video on the Drum Machine Designer in Logic Pro. The Drum Machine Designer is a great tool for composing your drums and also a really good way of composing or creating your own drum sound, so your own kind of individual kit. The first thing that you'll need to do is select Software Instrument, and you're going to need an empty channel strip. Click Create, and then there's several ways that we can do it, but we're going to use the instrument's channel inspector. You need to select the instrument insert from the relevant channel strip and click Drum Machine Designer, or scroll down till you find Drum Machine Designer. Now, Drum Machine Designer is based on is based with a typical kind of sampler view with 16 pads. In fact, there's more pads if you look at some of the subscreens that we've got, but we're going to concentrate on these first 16. It's vaguely split into two areas: the pads at the top and the and basically your control center down below. So the control center, the pad controls for each instrument, where you can adjust the pitch of each individual pad. You can adjust the spread, so the stereo field, the presence, the body, the strength that the envelope, the ADS envelope, is acting on that, so that's attack, decay and sustain. If you want any effects, reverb, delay, and to adjust the volume and panning of each individual pad. Now, it's important to say here that when you've got pad controls selected, it is just that individual pad that you are going to be designing the sound of. If you want to act upon the whole kit, you need to click Kit Controls, and then you can EQ the kit as a whole, add drive to all of the pads, compress all of the pads, and so on. So now, how do you swap out kits, and how do you select or create your own? The first thing you'd need to do is select the Library tab from the left-hand side of Logic screen, shorthand Y, and here you'll have the option for electronic drum kits. The grey ones are those that haven't been downloaded yet, but the white ones are those that you've got available to you. So we're going to select perhaps the Boom Bap kit, which gives us a bit of a 90s hip hop flavor. And clicking on the speaker icon, you can hear each individual hit. Now, each pad in the Drum Machine Designer can be an instrument, but it's often a sample, and this is something that I'm going to show you here. This kit is made of samples. The samples are input onto a really cool new tool in Logic called the Cue Sampler, and the Cue Sampler hosts each sound. You can select each sample and how it plays back with a classic, one shot or slice mode, and you can actually also record your own samples into the pad, which makes for some really cool ideas when it comes to field recording and really good possibilities there. You can change the playback, so you can play back forwards or reversed, and you can loop the sounds if you want to as well, but we'll go into that in a little bit more detail in another video. You can trim your samples, so you can trim the ending. In fact, we'll trim it quite drastically so you can hear it a little better, and you can trim the beginning so we can have the sample coming in later. Let's put those locators back to where they were. If we want to swap out any pads at any point, the Library browser has got a really cool tool. Again, Y for shorthand for the Library browser. It'll show us all of the kicks, all of the possible kicks we can have from any of the preset kits that have been downloaded. So we could have this Boom Bap kit, but change out the kick for a Futura sound and still retain the other instruments from the Boom Bap kit that we wanted. Also, we can do this with our own samples. So if you've downloaded any sample packs and click F on your keyboard, so F is the shortcut for the media screen, you can select, using all files, any samples that you might have downloaded to your desktop or wherever you save your samples to. So I know that here I've got some somatic samples with some drum one shots, and I might want to change out this clap for my own clap that I know that I like to use. And there, with a simple drag and drop, I've got my new clap in my old drum kit. Then using the pad controls, I can change this using the sampler, either the detailed matrix, where I can add my LFOs, I can filter the kick, and I've got a lot more control over the tone of this sample. Or using the main, where I've got a little bit less control, quite a lot less control, but a cleaner kind of screen and looking basically at the sample and the waveform and able to see it there. So that's your basic overview. When it comes now to sequencing in Logic, we're going to go into that in a little bit more detail in another video, but there's several ways in which to do it tonight. I'll talk you through them very quickly here. We could use our musical typing or our MIDI keyboard, and we could play live to a click. So let's try inputting some notes into there. I'll change the BPM down to something like 97 and record from there. If you click R for record, shorthand for record. So there's my kick drum going in, hi-hat next, which I think is a T. And S for snare. A bit scrappy, but what we can do with this is now press P on our keyboard, which will bring up the piano roll, highlight all of our hits, which is Command A, and press Q, which will quantize these hits. Any extra hits that I haven't quite got, I can see by collapsing the piano roll down to the notes, to only the notes that I've used, and copying and pasting any notes that I need to fill in. So that first hit there, if I press Command A and then Q, Q will quantize my notes. A lot nicer. The other way, or one other way that I could input these notes, is actually using the piano roll itself without recording in live. So I could double click the empty area on Logic's arrange screen, create MIDI region, and inside the MIDI region it'll say on the left hand side exactly which hit is which, and using my pencil tool or command, if my pencil tool is my secondary tool, I can input my notes. Etc. A third way to do it is again something that I'm going to go into more detail in another video, but is to use Logic's new sequencer, and you do that, or you get the sequencer up by right clicking in a blank area in Logic's arrangement window and creating a pattern region. And the pattern region is perfect for these kind of drums. It's a step sequencer for 16 steps, although again you've got quite a lot of control over this, and you can try to program your kit live there. Thank you for watching this video. If you've got any questions, let me know in the Google Classroom, and I'll see you guys again soon.